So here I am in Stellenbosch on my first day after some very heavy rainfall, looking around sort of south towards the sea, but you can't really see it at the moment. And then here we have a couple of winemakers. Who do we have here?
So I'm Barbara Melck. I'm the winemaker for Reyneke wines. And
I'm Johan Reyneke. The farmer for Reyneke wines. Okay, so what we have here is, I must actually start right off the bat, give credit to Rosa Clear, the guru in terms of keyline design and all things viticulture and quality. Initially I thought this was a bit strange. I would have planted the vines on the contour, but from a quality perspective we understand that if the vines are planted on contour, they create these terraces, and the sidewall of the terrace dries off a bit sooner than the top does. So we did not want that from a quality point of view, and we decided to angle the vines. They're not angled completely straight down the hill to minimize erosion, and then depending on the steepness of the slope we've shortened or lengthened the rows, but as you can see there's absolutely zero erosion here. It's beautiful. It also harvests the cool breeze that we don't really need today because it's freezing, but in summer. And then last but not least, we've got we've got a bit of Shannon on the one side, and we've got some Syrah over there, and we've got some more. But yeah, maybe Barbara wants to say something about the trellising and about
This is Eschelas trellising,
yeah,
isn't it, Barbara?
on the side, just on the other side of this hill, we've got a bit more high density planting, so it's kind of more traditional Eschelas. Where here we've got, which is also one of Rissa's brainchildren, this idea of Eschelas, but it's a bit wider rows, which helps us from a biodynamic point of view. It gives us easier access to get to the vineyards when we need to. And then she's got this lovely system where you've got a wire running on top of the poles to kind of stabilize them, so you don't have to have these deep poles that you plant deeply for stability. So the wire just helps bring that extra stability, which also helps with the site. I think we're lucky where we are today, even though it's a cool day and this breeze isn't helping, but usually the wind up here pumps quite a bit. And that extra wire brings a lot of relief when it comes to those windy days.
Yeah.
But also, as Johan said, just the way we've angled these vineyards is also with the prevailing winds. So in the summertime, most of our wind comes from the ocean, from the southeast, and then kind of winter time, it comes more from the northwest. Today we're in a day where the wind's kind of slowly turning, because tomorrow we're going to have a nicer day, so I think it's turning more southeast.
Yeah.
But as soon as the rains start coming, it goes northwest again.
And you've got like amazing sort of, I mean, I know here like sort of biodiversity is very, very important. You're doing like really quite incredible things here. Just explain to me on our left here, I'll just zoom around here. So here we've got like, these are like kind of fynbos. Yeah. And then, so can you just explain what you're doing here in terms of that?
Okay, so there are basically two things happening. One, on my left is what we call land caring, and on the right would be land sparing. So if I can just quickly show you on the left, the vines are dormant, but there's a wealth of information here. These guys, the lupins, are here to basically, you can see they're about to flower, and what they do is, these are planted specifically for the vines, so they have the ability to take nitrogen from the atmosphere, put it in the soil, and make it accessible to the vines in the growing season. But if you look in the adjacent row next door, you can see here we have a lot of grains. So the plan with the oats and the grains that we've planted here is not so much for the benefit of the vines, but for the benefit of the soil. So what happens here is this becomes organic matter. Then we do a high density grazing with the cows through here, and the manure will bring microbes, and then they will convert all of this to humus, which improves the water retention and boosts the vitality of the vines. And this is 101 regenerative organic biodynamic. And if you look at the fynbos, this is all things biodiversity. So just like climate change is a challenge, biodiversity is also a challenge. And on a beautiful farm like this, some areas are great for viticulture and some areas are not. So in the steep areas or the areas with lesser soil, we want to bring back, to rewild the farm, to bring back biodiversity. So these are all endemic plants. They come from this area. We have a wonderful lady called Linda. She harvests them in indigenous and endemic pockets around the vineyard, propagates them for us, and what they do is they bring balance to the farm. So you get stability through diversity. The more diverse an ecosystem, the more stable it becomes. And this will bring wildlife corridors around the farm, throughout the vineyards, and then specific islands where we get this natural balance. And yeah, it just sort of offsets the imbalance that one can get in a vineyard. And this is where the predators and all the beneficial insects and wonderful and weird little things live. Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.